this might be a handy tutorial for folks, because what I'm planning to do here is a bass guitar of my own volition, kind of a Ricky jazz bass sort of inspired thing, but I'm going to try and use some freebie wood, and as freebie wood tends to have it, it never really comes exactly how you want it. This is a slab of alder that my dad just kind of dropped off, I guess. Says, here, you use alder, right? Yeah, sure. Thanks, Dad. But it is all kinds of ugly. It's 58 at that end, 65 at that end, big knot, ugly thing. All this flange can come off, all this flange can come off, and that'll give me a nice little 2x8, essentially. Now, a few things to consider while we do this. Taking raw wood. First of all, is it dry? Yes. For those of you planning to try using freebie wood, or street meat, whatever you want to call it, basically little moisture meter is always kind of handy. Anything over 10%, give it more time. And even especially near the end grain, like none of this is waxed or painted, but if I were to look at the end grain, you know, it's measuring at 10% because that's how the tree absorbed moisture when it was still living. If I go into the flat grain, drops down to, you know, 6, 7, 8% or so. Other side, which has these two cool little guys, which of course would go under the top for, what are the knots doing? Yeah. Again, so these are the limbs, right? So the tree would have been growing out kind of like that, and that's how it would have transferred moisture. So of course the knots are going to have a higher moisture content than just the flat grain wood. What are we going to do? Let's get rid of these ears. Okay. Framing square. Da-da-da. Okay. That measures 7.5. The blade actually runs downward here, so it's going to pull the piece into the deck. So it's a bit safer, and I can kind of control and just basically eyeball this guy, and I'll clean it up later with a hand plane or a power planer. All right, and here we go. Let's have another look at this. It didn't like that, fortunately. Nice straight cut. What you can do is the old do-si-do. Oh yeah. Cool. Ooh. Okay. That runs kind of neat. This will make good firewood. Let's see. We'll do the same to the other side. So, stay on that side. There we go. And safety off. Hold that. Cool. So, what that leaves us is a nice older billet. Now, if we look at this side, down here, we are sitting quite heavy at 73 thick. Whew. And down here at, whoa, come on, 65. Okay. On the other side is considerably thinner. Okay. But now, that will sit very uneven. on that sled. So actually that's not bad. So there's a bit of a cup here, and this is about as, I'll show you this. There's a bit of a cup in here, but basically it's relatively flat on these two sides. So what that's going to do is going to give me a bit of a relatively flat surface. So I can run this through the planer, take off a fair bit of this. Okay. Yeah, and it's going to grab it, pull it through, but down at this end, because it's thinner, I'm probably going to have to push it. Obviously not like that, but just push it through until we start making a fully planed surface over here. There we go. Okay, so now this goose coming down. It just grabbed it. That's better. Okay, now we got something to work with here. And voila, a little bit of chunky chunk down there, but otherwise we got both sides kind of clear. If I were to look at this on a website or something, it might not be too stellar, but there's some kind of the scrappy free wood. Sometimes you get some really cool figures. Like again, there's that flame that I was looking at. So yeah, it comes back through this side. So now I want to book match it. Now imagine you're gonna, right, we're kind of sitting like this. So if you want, whatever side you want the mirrored image to be, you've got to kind of pick how you're going to cut it, right? So before I run it through, this is, you can see all the kind of the wobbly pobbly from the bandsaw on both sides. Now I want to level this out as much as I can, so I'm just going to take the power planer to this and just kind of flatten it out as best as I can. Okay. Tighten that up. Power planer. Just because I'm not as romantic doing this by hand, I just want to do it quick. So. So, gonna bring back the fence. You can go there. Just have a little fence extension. If I break or damage this, that's fine. It's a piece of MDF. I won't miss it. Okay, adjusting the throat. Now, we are sitting at 52.5, so 26.25, close, good enough. Scribe, and that is kind of a split difference there, the tricky part. So I gotta run right down the middle there, 26, in theory. If this goes perfectly smooth, I will get a blank that's about, I'm going to say after planing, about an inch thick. Okay. Push stick, ready. And yeah, hope I can cut straight. So let's see. Now, this is going to work this blade pretty good, so I'm going to have to go slow, so might have to speed this one up for the viewing pleasure. Whoa. Oh, that's not good. Well, this blade could probably use a resharpening. I was judging by the smoke, now exiting the knot. definitely too deep into this cut. Pull out now. Come on. Okay. Alright, quarter-inch out. I'm going to do a go-to-go. Alright. Last thing I want to do. There we go. And voila. Oh, a little smoky in here now. Okay. Skookum. I'm going to throw these through the planer violently and without measurement. Okay, throw that through another uno mas. Look at that. What do we have here? A little heart. A little hiney shaped heart. Or we have a crab. Yeah, it's a crab. Or a... yeah, you could do a spider. I don't know. Whatever. Now, educated decision time. Okay. Well, this might not work. Because, as I see it, I got a little bit too much overhang up here. And one step out in the back here. Yeah. So that's not good. Right. And now say if I were to do it with an RG style, I might be able to avoid some things here. You know what? What I think I might do, I'm going to make a call here and say this would be better suited for a carved top of some sort, like for a telly. Because if I just line up this acrylic template, as it were, whoop, there we go. I think that would look much cooler. And then instead of it being too small of a body blank and you have to kind of build it up with a number of veneers and caking things in and wasting more material than you have to, why not just turn it into a always turn a mistake into a feature. Because yeah, that might look out just gorgeous if you turned it into like a thin line or something. Or yeah, like a carved top telly. I think that would be a better use of this wood. And then you're avoiding it and using it to its full potential. So, well, not exactly but what we intended to go and do. I'm still going to have to find something to use for this base body, but yeah, that's how you take a bit of freebie wood and turn it into something that no one else in the world has. So, hope you enjoyed that. I know it was a little fun for me. And finally got to open up a little Kinder Egg and see what's inside. Let me know if you want to use this wood. I'll be happy to make you a telly. And until next time, we'll stay vigilant.